welcome back, astronomical learners. I'm your host, Mrs. Deanna, and today I want to talk about sight words or sight word flashcards in a certain way and show you how I might not be a fan, but I do use them a certain way. So if you see them in the store, don't totally avoid them. Think about how you can use them. Alright, so have you recently gone into the dollar store or maybe the back to school section, if it's early for you, and you've seen kind of these sight word cards? I will say I'm not a fan of the idea of just a word printed on a card with no context. For me and my tutoring, especially with something like because, I would use this in a way as an example to practice fluency once they've already kind of established a foundation of the 44 phonemes, so then we can work together to decode this. So if there are any issues, we can work together. So we have because, right? So we know b, we know usually it's e, but right here we're going to say e. We know k. So it's interesting here because we're wondering how we're going to say this. But we see that E. Now, it's not magic E. So this isn't going to say because. This is a vowel team. Vowel, 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 vowel. So B, this is the long vowel right here. K, ah. So it's really kind of like, and then this is more kind of like a Z. Because. Or you could even say, this is more like that U sound. Because. Does that make more sense? So remember, you don't have to memorize these words if you have a strong foundation. All right, what about they? They. Now I want you to understand that students need to know the difference between the voiced and the unvoiced th, or th. So this isn't they. This is going to be the voiced, and then eh. And then that y is a little bit different, right? It's kind of like a, they. So it's still that the sound, but they. Next we have, this one is a tricky one. I will always tell my students it depends on the sentence, because this can be like, I like to read, or it can sound just like this word. Read. It depends on if it's present or past. Like, I read that book before. Or have you read that book? Read. But it can also be read. Read. Next we have, and I would even say I would put this more with word families to understand that ul sound. But we have p, ul. I can decode that. P, ul. Pull. Next we have them. So kind of similar to they, right? We can bring that back. So we just practiced they. So now we're on to Oh, I can decode that. Them. All right, this one. And I want you to tell your students, like, hey, just because it's more letters, don't be afraid. So we have pull. All right, now we have vowel team. And, oh yeah, that's right. It's similar to because, right? Okay, let's break this down. Vowel, vowel, vowel. Okay, so this isn't magic E. So we're going to do pull, E, Z. Oh, that's right. That's that Z, S. Please. Like, can I please have a cookie? Please. Next we have ink. Think. Oh, that's right. We have that th sound. I, n, k. Think. Okay, so while I change my marker, I just want to point something out because a student actually might already know the word ink on its own. So if they have the background knowledge to say ink, they can just add the th, and then it's easily decodable. Th, ink. Makes more sense? Alright, what about this one? Ooh. I guess this marker is a little bit stronger. Okay, we have round. Round. Vowel team. D. Alright, so we have vowel, vowel. Ow. So this is kind of like OW. Round. But we can still decode d. Round. So all we had to figure out was that vowel team. Okay, not too bad. Round. Oh, look at this. We're just going to add an A. We already figured this one out. Round. Doesn't that make more sense? Okay. So that's how I approach it on that side. Now I will say, with these cards, you can flip them, and it's a little bit different. Okay, so once a student feels comfortable, and I would say this is a little bit older student, we can start reading sentences in flashcards and including the what we call sight words. Cody can ask for a cookie. Cody can ask for a cookie. The sight word they're saying is ask. Ask. Another way I would use this card is to put my finger and we can read around it. Cody can what for a cookie? And now it becomes a grammar practice. Cody can what? Let's think. Cody can have a cookie. Nope, we have 4 there. Cody can have for a cookie? Nope. Cody can take for a cookie? Nope. Cody can... what word would I put there? Oh, that's right, ask. Cody would ask for a cookie. And I would use this as a scaffold in order for students, especially with, I'm not a fan of maze assessments, but a lot of people will use them to assess of, oh, do you know the right word to put in? The problem is I feel like if you don't give options like have, take, or ask, and model a student of how to fill in that blank of Cody can have for a cookie. Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound right. Cody can take for a cookie. That doesn't sound right. Oh, Cody can ask for a cookie. Ding, ding, ding. That's right. That's what sounds right. Unless a student is modeled how to use that process of elimination, I would include a scaffold. So, don't believe me? Let's try another one. All right, what about this? Dad said, see, I would say said is the sight word, but Dad said, thank you for these ties. The sight word they're saying is thank. Dad said, thank you for these ties. Okay, so blank, cover it up. Dad said what? You for these ties. Dad said, can you? Dad said, won't you? Or Dad said, thank you. What makes sense in context and grammar? Just trust your instincts. Can we say Dad said, can you for these ties? Maybe, can you get these ties? No, that's not what it says. Dad said, won't you for these ties? Maybe if you said, Dad said, won't you help me with these ties? No, that's not the words there. Oh, that's right. The only one that fits is Dad said, thank you for these ties. You see what I did there? So, when you see these in a store, I would say don't totally rule them out. Think about how you can use them in an interesting way to invite a student to question how they are being used. But honestly, if you're using this as a way to practice reading or maybe sorting, that's not going to be harmful. What's harmful is if they're in isolation and your student is stuck there and not able to decode these efficiently. Because if you haven't been taught these vowel teams, you're not going to be able to decode this on your own. If you're not confident in your vowels, you're not going to be able to decode these on these own. So think about those things when you make activities or you make worksheets, because decodability is kind of a personal term. What's decodable to me might not be decodable to you, but if you have a good scope and sequence, if you have a good foundation, a student should be able to at least decode most of these letters.